What appetite for success on the stage in the past hour. This is an experience where people are casually talking about 100-year companies and working 80 hours a week when they're 95 years old, as if it was the easiest thing on earth. I want us to remember we came with a hunger. We were studying at home, eating dal roti, and then we wanted to take the next step. All of us have been through a difficult immigration process. We've, had many challenges along the way, some more, some less. We've had loved ones, friends go through these challenges. Throughout all of this time, we have had a lot of support from our Indian Immigration Office. So it is a very high honor for us to have the Consul General of India join us today, Dr. Srikar Reddy. He has been with the San Francisco office for several years. He's been a strong supporter of our community. Dr. Reddy, welcome on stage.
Your distinguished guests, entrepreneurs, innovators, IIT alumni, ladies and gentlemen, namaskar, good evening, happy Navratri. It is indeed a great privilege and also an honor for me to join you all this evening for this IIT Alumni Bay Area Annual Leadership Conference. In fact, this is for the third time in a row I'm participating in this event. I would like to congratulate the IIT Bay Area team led by Nidhi, Arnab and Ashish for bringing together such extraordinary minds. And it was fascinating to listen to tech leaders such as Vinod Khosla and Vipul Sinha. As you're all aware, IIT alumni are leading Fortune 500 companies and running a lot of startups and also doing research for the state-of-the-art technologies. And IITs now are also being set up abroad. We have now 2 IITs set up, one in Tanzania, was set up by IIT Madras, and we have one in Abu Dhabi by IIT Delhi. And in fact, I'd like to thank Nidhi ji for inviting me to speak to you today. I'd like to broadly speak on 3 aspects. One, about the current status of Indian economy and the recent reforms by the government of India. Second, the recent developments in the India-US bilateral relations. And third, how IITians can contribute to deepening the India-US partnership. As you're all aware, India is now the 4th largest economy in the world. And now there's also a lot of entrepreneurship is being developed in India. Now India is the 3rd largest in terms of number of startups. Already we have close to 115 unicorns. And even India, like in the digital arena, India is doing quite well. You must have heard about the digital public infrastructure and the India Stack, starting from Aadhaar to UPI. Now UPI, as a real-time payment mechanism, in the month of August, there were 2 billion transactions. So India is leading in this real-time transactions. I'm happy to inform you that UPI is being now implemented in other countries such as France, Singapore, UAE, Mauritius, and also in our neighboring countries such as Bhutan and Nepal. And also in the manufacturing sector, India is doing quite well. Especially we have success stories in the mobile manufacturing. India is now the 2nd largest mobile manufacturer in the world, especially with Apple and Samsung. They're manufacturing in a big way in India. And also, like even the semiconductor sector, in the last few years, we have seen quite a few investment. We have seen over 18 billion investment by 6 companies, including Micron from the West Coast in the US. We're expecting Micron to start producing chips during this course of the year. And to ensure that India grows in the bandwidth of 6 to 8% per annum, and also to realize the ambitious goal set by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to make India a developed country by 2047. So the government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, has recently implemented the GST reforms. You must be aware, earlier we started implementing GST from 2017, but we had 4 slabs. Now we have reduced the slabs. Now there are only 2 slabs, like 5% and 18%. The slabs, 12% and 28%, are eliminated. We hope that, so this will put more money in the consumer's hand, and also this will boost the consumption, and also give a fillip to the domestic manufacturing, and also it will also improve the compliance by the traders so that there won't be any tax evasion. And we hope that overall this will help the sustainable growth of the Indian economy. Coming to the recent developments in the India-US bilateral relations, as you're all aware, we have a multifaceted partnership between our 2 countries. So first, I'd like to come to the people-to-people relationship, because we have a vibrant Indian diaspora of 5 million strong. And as you're all aware, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji gives a high regard to the Indian diaspora, especially in the US. And in September 2023, when he was meeting with President Biden, he announced setting up of 2 consulates, two new consulates, one in Boston and Los Angeles. So already we have started the 2 new consulates. So they are functioning from a temporary office, but hopefully by end of this year, they will be fully functional. And second, to increase the access and also to provide efficient services, we have started 9 new Indian consular application centers. Earlier we had this, we normally outsource the centers to VFS, as you are aware. Earlier these centers were only located in cities where the embassy or the consulates were located. Now, for the first time, we have set up these centers outside the cities where the embassies or the consulates are located. Like we have started one in San Jose, just in the Oak Road, I think, just in San Jose. We also setting up a new center in Los Angeles also. California will be the first state which will have 3 the consular application centers and 2 consulates. So that shows the importance given to California, because it also comprises 20% of the Indian diaspora. And I would also inform you that on 30th of July, history was made when ISRO launched a satellite called NISAR. This is a joint satellite fabricated by both NASA and ISRO together. And because this is the first joint project which was implemented by both countries. And in fact, in this, the satellite launch vehicle, the satellite bus, and also the S-band radar was contributed by India, while the US contributed the antenna and also the L-band radar. This is a very important joint project, and already the satellite started sending the images through which all the climate change related, like the nature of the change in vegetation, change in water table, and also any natural hazards can be detected, and also not only for our both countries, this is for the overall global good. The data will be shared with all countries. And also, you must have heard about the tariffs imposed by the US on India, the new administration. So initially, because we couldn't finalize a trade agreement by the deadline, so initially they announced 25% tariffs, but subsequently, as India was importing the Russian oil, the punitive tariffs of 25% were imposed by President Trump. We think this is very unfair and also unjustifiable, because only India was singled out because we are only importing oil for energy security for our 1.4 billion people. and also other countries which are importing oil from Russia, like the China and other European countries, were left out. They were not handed out any tariffs. And we have also seen yesterday there was an announcement regarding the 100% tariffs on the pharmaceutical products, but we are still awaiting clarity. We hope that generic pharmaceuticals from India will be exempt because it only mentions about the branded generics and the originator medicines. So we are awaiting clarity whether the pure generics, like most of the Indian products are sold over-the-counter medicines, so hopefully we'll have more clarity in the future. And in fact, we also had this H1B last week, so at least there is now some clarity. So now the H1B, whatever 100,000 fees that will be charged, it is only for the prospective new applications and not for the existing H1B holders. So that was a relief for the many of the Indian H1B holders. And our negotiating teams are discussing to conclude a overall bilateral trade agreement. Our Commerce and Industry Minister-led team visited US early this week. He had a meeting with his counterpart, USTR Jamieson Greer in New York. We hope that, as stated in the joint statement between Prime Minister Modi and President Trump in February, that will conclude a bilateral trade agreement that is mutually beneficial by fall. Hopefully by November, we should be able to conclude this agreement. And coming to the aspect, what IITians can do. So there is a strong startup ecosystem in the Silicon Valley, and also India now we have a strong startup ecosystem, especially in cities like Chennai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, and Pune. So we hope IITians can connect both the startup ecosystems, because some of you must have attended some of the events organized in the consulate, especially NASSCAM delegations bringing startup companies to the US. Recently, there were 3-4 delegations were brought by NASSCAM, and also we had some visits by the Karnataka and other state delegations. So we hope that IITians, because you're also working in many startups, you can able to connect the startups, and also you'll help in scaling of the Indian startups when they want to enter the US market. You can also form some collaborations. And second thing, we are looking at a collaboration in the technology domain. We have this framework where both countries can collaborate. Earlier, it was India-US Initiative for Critical and Emerging Technology. Now it has been rechristened as the Trust Initiative, which is the Transforming Relationship Utilizing Strategic Technology. So we want collaboration in the areas of critical technologies such as semiconductor, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and quantum technology, and space. So we know many of the IITians are working in this kind of critical technologies. I think we would seek your help in connecting the Indian institutions with the institutions in the US, so that both countries can benefit, and also they can come out with some products which will be good for the global, overall globe. And third thing, I hope that IITians can also mentor the Indian students who are studying in US universities, because most of them would like to follow your path. Just yesterday, I had a virtual meeting with 500 students who are studying in the California State University system. There are 22 campuses, and we had around 6,500 students. Overall, in California, there are around 31,000 Indian students studying. So if this suggestion is acceptable to the IIT alumni, maybe my colleague Sripal is here. He's also IIT alumni from BHU. So he can, he'll reach out to you. If somebody would like to volunteer, we can connect you with the Indian Student Association in these respective university campuses, so that you can become mentors and at least guide the students who would like to follow your path and also become successful, not only in the US, but also when they go back to India. And finally, I would like to mention that tomorrow morning, we are organizing this Vikasit Bharat Run on the in San Francisco, Golden Gate Bridge. So this, we are organizing in 91 countries, in 150 cities, this Vikasit Bharat Run. The objective is to connect with the Indian diaspora, because Prime Minister Modi ji, as I said, he wants to make India a developed country by 2047. He wants to ensure contribution from all the members of the Indian diaspora who are living abroad. So we hope we'd like to connect the diaspora through many events, including the Viksit Bharat Run. So some of you, I invite all of you to participate in the Viksit Bharat Run tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. at the Golden Gate Bridge. So feel free to register with my colleague Shripal. So you can come there and participate in the Viksit Bharat Run to showcase your solidarity with the India's growth story and also your willingness to become part of this India's growth story. So I stop here, and I would also like to wish you all an advanced Happy Diwali. I wish you all good health, happiness, and prosperity. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for sharing all the update. And just a quick question, since you touched upon those recent hot issues. Of course, in the tech, to the tech community, one of those issues are very critical. The H-1B thing, of course, you got some clarity. But I don't know what else is happening in the diplomatic circle in terms of, is there any specific guidance to the tech community, like, should these or take this kind of initiative or, something which can sort of percolate up? I'm just asking, I don't know what is happening in the diplomatic circle. Right?
No, as I mentioned, our teams are discussing, like we recently had the visit of our Commerce and Industries Minister,
right.
Piyush Goyal. So we, in the bilateral trade agreement, we not only discuss the tariffs on goods, but also we discuss the trade in services also, which includes the movement of the natural persons. But I am not privy to the discussion. But I think our IIT leader, Monishi Sanyasi,
so
he has
Monishi,
some views
maybe
on this.
He can share
some of his views, how the IITians can help in strengthening the India-US tech partnership also. Thank you.
Okay. You got 3 minutes.
Okay. Is this okay? Okay. Now, my fellow IITians, there is one way we can significantly contribute to softening this conflict that is taking place, particularly in the area of the H visas.
I really can't think of any other brand.
Big tech has a big say with the Trump administration. But the Trump administration is playing around with, do they provide more jobs for local Americans or do they get the best quality out? So I think you should play on one of the desires of President Trump, which is supremacy in the world of technology. He wants the US to be the top technology country in the world. Now, please seed your organizations with the fact that to be on the top, you must get the best of the best, most meritorious candidates, and from a much wider pool than just America, you must approach the global pool. That means your talent, the best talent, get it from wherever you can, even if it's outside the US. That's number one. Number two, tell them that all these great CEOs and great Indian founders who've come here and made America what it is, in terms of the contributions that they've made, all of these great CEOs and all at one time were junior engineers who came here on an H visa, who came here on a student visa, and then they integrated themselves into the American system. And look what they've given. Do you want to deprive yourself of this? I think that should make them think, is it more important to have American supremacy or to cater to the jobs for local Americans? So I think this is an idea, if you can seed it and if your organizations pitch it with the powers that be in Washington, it might work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, big hands for our Consul General. Thank you.